Hey everyone, Christian Seiler here, USPSA National Champion at the Bellevue Gun Club today. Want to take some time and talk about reloads. Let's talk about reloads and why they're so important. In a tactical environment, it's when your gun runs out of ammunition and your life depends on getting that next magazine in the gun and getting back on target and throwing lead down range. In a competition environment, we like to plan ahead, plan these reloads, and make sure we keep the gun fed of enough ammunition to complete the course of fire. So reloads are really important. And the number one thing I want to talk about reloads is not pushing the pace too much where you go to a level that is unsafe. The number one thing I want to stress before you even talk about the technique is keeping your finger off the trigger. I've seen world and national champions, DQ themselves, disqualify themselves in competition and risk other people's lives by just not taking that finger off the trigger. So that's the one thing I want to really talk about and emphasize before we begin, is to take that finger off the trigger before we initiate that reload. So let's talk about the actual reload technique itself. It's very simple mechanics that need to happen, and let's talk about them. So what actually needs to happen is I need to press this magazine button and a new magazine needs to come in, and let's talk about the technique that actually happens. So I'm on target, and the first thing I want to do when I know that I need to reload, okay, the gun's out of ammunition, or I've planned this reload to put more ammunition in the firearm, the first thing I need to do is take my finger off the trigger. Like I talked about, this is the most important part, and let me show you from this angle. The gun goes off, boom, I'm ready to reload. My finger comes from this trigger to the side of the firearm. That is the number one thing I want to stress here, guys. I pull the trigger, gun's empty, finger goes on the outside of the gun here before I start messing with my grip or anything. Okay, so the finger goes on the outside here. The next thing that I want to do is initiate that reload. So depending on your hand size, that magazine button might be a little bit closer for some people, but for me, I need to twist the gun in that hand and press that magazine release button. So finger goes on the outside of the firearm and index it. I need to then twist the gun slightly like this in my hand, rotate it, press the magazine release button. So after I do this, the magazine is obviously going to fall out. What I want to do is get my grip back to its normal grip, so when the magazine comes in, I can just roll it out. So how's that going to happen? So one more time, the finger goes on the outside, I index it, I press the button, the magazine's falling. As the magazine's falling, I'm going for a new magazine. Okay, so this hand's not just going to be waiting here, it's going to be doing something efficiently. So the magazine's falling, I press the button, I'm going for my next fresh magazine from my magazine pouch, wherever it be, on my chest, on my belt, wherever it may be. I'm doing two things at once, and that's the key to efficiency really here. Guys, I press the magazine release button, my hand goes down as fast as possible, I find that magazine, I insert it right there. So let's talk about how I'm actually going to grab this magazine. I want 2 points of contact with my magazine. I want one, indexing it with my pointer finger here, and two, with the meaty part of my hand. So it's 2 points of contact there, and it's a lot more stable. So let's talk about how I'm actually going to index the magazine. So when I press the magazine release button here, I go for the magazine. It's very important how my finger oriented like this. Then I just point to my mag hole and I insert it. It's a lot easier. If I get some monkey grip like this, I'm going to be fishing for the magazine and everything like that. So I want to come down. I want to get that nice grip right there. 2 points of contact. One in the meaty part of my hand, one indexing it here. And my eyes then need to shift to the mag hole right here. I index here, point in. I'm pointing at the chalkboard, wherever it may be, pointing in. And then I'm rolling my hand out. I'm taking this finger as it's going in, so don't pinch it, all the way down. And then from here, I'm letting my palm do the rest of the work. So one more time here. Shot goes off. Step one, finger indexing on the outside of the firearm. Two, I'm pressing the magazine release button and going from magazine, making sure I get my 2 points of contact. One with my my pointer finger here, one with the meaty part of my hand. I'm rolling my gun back into its normal grip. I look, my eyes go to the magazine well. What am I actually doing? I'm reloading the gun, so I'm looking here at the magazine well. I point in. This finger slides down, I slam it home, and the next important part is actually getting your grip. So I'm just going to simply roll the gun over, my thumbs push down, and once again, I'm picking up my dot and prepping the trigger as I push out.